Hey friends, so I want to jump into talking about multiple sclerosis, but I don't think that it's easy to talk about MS without first talking about the neuron, which I've labeled as the building block of the neuro nerd, because MS affects the neurons in our bodies, specifically the axons. And so I kind of want to go over generally what the neuron is and what it is made of. So neurons are the primary functional and anatomical unit of the nervous system. They are specialized cells for excitation and nerve impulse conduction, and they are very sensitive to oxygen deprivation, meaning that if they are deprived of oxygen, they are less likely to rebound from that oxygen deprivation compared to other cells in our body. So the cell body is this more central orange portion here, and then the green portion in there is the nucleus. We refer to the cell body as the soma, and it contains organelles such as mitochondria, Golgi apparati, ribosomes, and the endoplasmic reticulum. It's also the place of formation of neurotransmitters, which are important because those neurotransmitters are then turned into electrical impulses so that an action potential can be sent down the neuron. The dendrites are these branchy looking things that come directly off of the soma, and they convert chemical information into electrical signals. They also conduct impulses toward the cell body. This is the site of local response, meaning that basically these dendrites connect to other neurons, and that's where the communication takes place of continuing on in action potential. The cytoplasmic buds on the ends of the dendrites are what makes synaptic contact with other neurons. Then you have the axon. The axon is a single fiber right here that extends from the cell body to other parts of the nervous system or to muscles or glands. It carries the electrical impulse away from the cell body, right, to the presynaptic terminal, which is headed down this way, and it may be covered by myelin sheath. This portion where the axon meets the cell body is called the axon hillock, and it is the site of impulse summation, okay? So if the threshold is crossed, then it will initiate the action potential. So what I mean is basically all these dendrites are going to send chemical impulses down to the body, and then if the action potential is going to carry on, it has to reach a certain threshold to be able to cross that axon hillock, and if it reaches that threshold, then it will send the action potential down the axon. Now, the axon terminals are down here at the end of the axon. That's the point where the electrical impulse is converted to chemical signals via neurotransmitters. So these contain synaptic vesicles. So these axon terminals are what's going to connect to the dendrites of a different neuron. And then it releases these neurotransmitters when cued by the action potential so that it can communicate with the next neuron. So myelin is this yellowy stuff that's going down the axon, okay? And myelin is very important when we get to multiple sclerosis. Just remember, myelin is important. So it covers many of the axons in the peripheral nervous system and the central nervous system, and it greatly increases the speed of nerve impulse conduction. So in the peripheral nervous system, you have Schwann cells that lay down myelin, and then in the central nervous system, you have oligodendrocytes that are responsible for laying down myelin. So myelin is just a white fatty substance that serves as insulation on the axon. So think about the plastic covering of an electrical wire. That insulation just allows for faster electrical impulse travel. It does not cover the cell bodies, and sometimes there are gaps in the myelin that just allow for faster action potentials. In the central nervous system, the white matter is myelinated and the gray matter is not. So just to be clear, that would essentially mean that the white matter are the axons and the gray matter is the cell bodies of the neurons.